obsolete, Mr. Wordsworth.
Lie. No man is obsolete.
It's a cookbook.
Who are we?
When will they take the bandages off?
You're a bad man. You're a very bad man.
This lemon sucker here. He's the most suspicious of the bunch.
My name is Talkie Tina, and I'm beginning to hate you.
I believe you're going my way.
Live from Willoughby at the heart of the Twilight Zone. Here are your hosts, Alex and Tyler, the prestigiously perfect podcast in which we call The Twilight Zone.
I've been really trying, baby.
I love you.
You choose me? Happy Valentine's.
Oops, almost forgot. Happy Valentine's Day, George.
Ah!
Each pupil will bring the valentines that he wants to give, and we'll drop them in this box.
Just making a valentine for Ruth McDougal? Do they have to be store-bought, or can they be homemade?
Boy, here's my chance to get a valentine.
Love is in the air, in the Twilight Zone.
What is up, Nomies? Happy Valentine's Day. I'm Alex.
And I'm Tyler. Happy Valentine's Day.
Welcome to the Twilight Gnome Podcast, episode 48. What episode are we going to be discussing this week, Ty?
This week, in honor of Valentine's Day, we will be discussing The Chaser.
Season 1, episode 31, original air date, May 13th, 1960. This was originally a short story by John Coulier, and the teleplay was by Robert Presnell Jr., and this was directed by Douglas Hayes, who did 9 Twilight Zone episodes. You want me to tell you which ones he did?
Yeah.
He did. And When the Sky Was Opened, Elegy, The Chaser, The After Hours, Nervous Man in a $4 Room, The Howling Man, Eye of the Beholder, Dust, and The Invaders.
Wow, some of those are quite high up there in terms of recognizability.
Pretty decent ones. We'll jump right into it, Ty. What was your favorite moment?
So my favorite moment was when he first walks in to see the professor there. You get this really cool shot of the door, like almost opening magically. It has this like mechanical opening, and then you have this really pitch black hallway with a door lit up perfectly at the very end that also opens in this really cool mechanical way. And then the library itself just has this very like out of this world kind of feel. Like the props to the prop designers and the set designers for this, just that whole library and the setup to the library just seems so magical and cool.
I'll get into it right now because that was also my favorite part of the episode, and that was all Douglas Hayes doing, the director. He wanted it to feel like the character was in like a different reality when he was with the professor, so that's what they were going for.
It definitely gives me like a Sanctum Sanctorum from like Doctor Strange kind of feel.
It was very cool. Definitely my favorite as well.
We have the technology to rebuild it.
Doctor, what have you created?
I am, for all intent and purposes, AI Serling.
So every week I put a prompt into ChatGPT, come up with a Rod Serling style intro, and this week it came up with this. Meet Roger, a man of simple desires and a singular obsession. He wants love. Not just any love, but the undying devotion of a woman named Leela. The problem? Leela wants nothing to do with him. But tonight, Roger will stumble upon a solution in the form of a peculiar professor, a tiny vial, and a promise too tempting to resist. A promise that love, true, unwavering, inescapable love, can be his with a single sip. But as Roger is about to learn, some wishes should never be granted, and some doors should never be opened, especially the ones leading straight into the Twilight Zone.
That was perfect. That was a great AI Serling.
That was pretty decent. All right, so every week, Tyler and I come up with a few questions for each other, keep each other on our toes while watching said episode. I came up with 3 this week.
I also have 3.
All right, it is an even, so I will go first. When we first meet Leela, the very first time we see her, what is she eating?
She's eating a box of chocolates.
She is very fitting for Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Did you eat any chocolates today?
I don't like chocolate.
No?
I didn't eat much today. I had a really shitty I keep all my English muffins frozen to keep them lasting longer. And when I like toast it and stuff, it kind of tastes bad, like it maybe had freezer burn. Yeah. Anyway, all right, my first trivia question: what number does Roger dial when he's calling Leela?
Damn it! It says in the I'm never gonna get it. 32570.
You got the first two right. 323-6263. I had to rewatch it multiple times to see what he was actually dialing.
When I was on IMDb, I was looking because I always look at their trivia as well as the books, and that was someone's, and I was like, "There's no way unless you pause it, you're not gonna get what the fuck he just put in there." Did you try calling that number? See if Leela was on the other end of the line?
I didn't, but it doesn't give an area code, so I mean, yeah.
All right. What is the number of the professor's house or the library?
22. That was my next question.
All right.
My last one. What shelf is the glove cleaner on? Like, if the bottom one's 1, how high up?
Well, the very first time he goes on the left, and then when he finally gives him it at the end, spoiler alert, it's on the right. So it's on a different side. But I'm guessing the first one on the left there, and it is the 4th shelf up.
I was talking about when it's later on when he
later on. 4th still.
Nope, it is 11th.
That was 11 shelves, so it must have been pretty big ones. All right, and my final question: what type of dog would make a better companion according to the professor?
A type of dog? A border collie?
Kind of close. It's a cocker spaniel.
Oh, okay.
Where he says something to the effect of, if you wanted love and all that loyalty, you're better off just getting a cocker spaniel.
All right.
All right, we'll jump right into the plot of this one. We open up on people waiting in line for a phone booth, and a man comes in, and he's just not having any. This is madness. Do you recognize that man?
I don't recognize the man, but the whole plot of this reminded me so much of a Seinfeld episode where George is complaining about how it's so hard to find a payphone in the city, and like he keeps getting cut in line.
Definitely. Yeah, that definitely is very Seinfeld-esque. All right, if you don't recognize him, I will tell you more about that in Inside the Twilight Zone. But anyway, as this is happening, since it's season 1, Rod kind of just brings us right in very quickly.
Mr. Roger Shackleforth, age youthful 20s. Occupation, being in love. Not just in love, but madly, passionately, illogically, miserably, all-consumingly in love. With a young woman named Leela who has a vague recollection of his face and even less than a passing interest. In a moment, you'll see a switch, because Mr. Roger Shackleforth, the young gentleman so much in love, will take a short but very meaningful journey into the Twilight Zone.
I've said it many times, but there's just something about season 1. I love season 1. If I could only have one season, even though there's some of my favorite episodes in 2 and 3, and even 4 has some good ones, if I had to pick, I'm probably picking season 1. If I was stuck on a deserted island with only one season.
I wouldn't pick season 1. It is certainly great, and it, like you said, it definitely has like a feel to it, like you're watching it. I don't know if it's just because they were trying harder where it was their first season. It definitely has a really cool feel, but I think I'd probably pick like 2 or 3 just where they have the more prominent episodes. But also the jazz in this episode, so good.
They have a lot of cool music stingers in this one. I like it a lot. All right, so after Rod's intro, that man who came in and said this was madness is now trying to buy everyone's place in line. He offers everyone $1. The lady who's first in line is like, first is worth more than that. Give me $2. Fine.
Very shrewd.
And then it's at this point that Roger finally reaches Leela on the phone, and she's having nothing to do with this. What is it? And he's just like, can I see you? She's like, no, I'm a mess, which she's not a mess. She's like in a nightie eating chocolate. And then she's got the phone dangling on the floor. Was that like a trope? Like every movie, the phone's always on the floor. Especially like in girls' rooms and
the placement
stuff.
of the phone, or do you mean like when she doesn't put it back on the receiver?
Even the receiver's on the floor.
It is kind of weird. I think the reason that they show it not getting put back on the receiver is that would like close up the line or something like that, so no one else could.
No, but I'm
call.
saying even the receiver's on the.
Yeah, I don't know why she would have it on the floor. Maybe
but it seems like I've seen it in a lot of movies before, haven't you?
Yeah, maybe it's just a fun thing. Be like, oh, this phone can go anywhere. I don't know.
And Roger's pretty much just like, come on, I have to see you. And Leela just hangs up on him. And then the man comes into the phone booth pretty much like, oh, okay, your time's fucking up here. Fucking, here, take this kid. And he gives him a card. Go see this man. He'll have what you need.
Here's the business card of a wizard. Go see him.
Pretty much. The next shot, Roger is going to the professor's house, and we get that awesome shot like you mentioned earlier. I really enjoyed that. And it opens up to a library, and I even have cool music down here.
Also, did you notice on his business card, it says that his name is A. Damon? Is that supposed to sound like a demon?
Yes, that was intentional for the professor to be a demon. Because in the short story, the guy sells his soul to the devil.
I was thinking about that, but, like, he doesn't really... He seems more just like a shrewd businessman, more so
Except at the end, it gives it away that he's, like, obviously not human.
I mean, it kind of seems like he's magical. To some extent.
He, like, disappears and shit. Well, I guess he's, like, blowing the... Like, he wouldn't actually be there at the end. We're getting a little too far ahead of ourselves. But he's definitely supernatural.
But I wouldn't call him malevolent, like a... Maleficent? I wouldn't call him evil.
No. Like I was saying,
like
in
a
the
demon would be.
Short story, he sells his soul to the devil for the love of her. So I think they were trying to bring a little bit of that into it.
All right.
But it just didn't translate. Yeah, and it's at this point, like I said, it had so much promise. I was like, oh, fucking... All right, this is going to be a cool season 1 episode, but as you will soon find out, I really did not care for this. This is probably one of my least favorites from season 1.
Really?
Yeah. He enters the library, and the professor's like, well, stop skulking around. And he's like, do I know you? He's like, And then he keeps trying to sell him on this glove cleaner, and...
I was very confused, like, the first watch around. I was like, why the hell does this guy want him to clean his gloves? He's clearly not even wearing gloves.
Right.
And, like,
obviously, glove cleaner is like a code word for, like, mind eraser or wiper, probably. Something like a...
Well, what we come to find out is that it will kill her.
Would it kill her?
Yes.
I
He was going to murder her.
Was he? I didn't get that.
No.
I thought it was just going to make the...
No, it was literally going to
potion
kill
go away.
her. No, it was literally to kill her.
I totally missed that part. That makes it a lot darker, especially... Obviously, she doesn't do it, but...
He doesn't do it, but still all the same. But at the beginning, it's very confusing because he's...
Are you positive that the glove cleaner is...
I am positive. How did you not get that?
I figured it would just undo, kind of like an antidote to the original potion.
No.
Are you positive? I'm pretty sure it doesn't say... It never...
I mean, it never explicitly says it, but, like... he drops a bunch of clues that it's going to kill her.
No, I guess I figured it would just be. I guess I was too naive. I thought it was just gonna essentially take away the effects of the potion.
No, because then why would he not still go through it when he finds out that she's pregnant? Like,
because then he'd have a baby with a girl that doesn't love him. That would be a pain in the ass.
I mean, yeah, but still not as bad as killing her.
And I don't think he intentionally like dropped it. He did it out of the shock.
No.
Again, neither of this is here nor there. We're getting very far ahead of ourselves.
It is definitely the intent of the glove cleaner was a poison. That's why he said it was untraceable, undetectable. Like, as in, like, if you poison someone, no one's going to know you poisoned them.
I figured it was more to the effects of, like, untraceable, like, they won't notice that you slipped something in their drink, not something that sinister. No. And it also made it sound like he wanted him to take it himself. So was he, like, offering, like, suicide pills, essentially, then?
No, he was telling him to give it to her.
All right. I totally misconstrued the whole situation, but I'll play a little bit of this when he first walks in. It's pretty good.
Well, the point is, I don't know why I came at all. You see, a man gave me your card, a stranger.
Oh, yes. Satisfied former customer, most likely.
Yes, but I don't know why I came, though. I was sitting there in this phone booth.
Of course you know why you came. You want what I've got.
But I don't know what you've got.
Ointments, salves, powders, sovereign remedies, nectars, lotus blossoms, toxins, tonics, antitoxins, decoctions, concoctions, and potions. All guaranteed.
I got ointments, Doc. I got this rash down here, Professor.
I mean, he seems like the type of professor that could cure anything and like help in any way. That's basically what he's saying. He's kind of a magical potion maker.
Pretty much. Roger's pretty much like, no, I don't need anything. And he starts walking away, and the professor's like, well, what is it you want? You want money, success, power? And he's like, no, all I want is Leela. I could do without the rest. He's like, you don't understand. I love Leela, and she doesn't love me. And that's when he drops the bomb. Well, I can make her love you. She'll do anything for you. She'll be like, you can even cheat on her. He even says that, essentially. And she'll be mad for a while, but she'll love you.
She'll still love you.
Right? And then it's at this point when he says frankly, a Cocker Spaniel would do the same thing and be a lot easier, but Roger is having none of this. And then he asks him again, you sure you don't want the glove cleaner? Which, again, if he why is he trying to sell him that? So is he telling him to kill himself? If the glove cleaner is poison.
No, so I think he has like a whole business model of like sell the problem cheap, sell the antidote.
It's
at
very
a high
much
price.
like that episode of Rick and Morty where the devil gives you the thing, but it's a cursed item. It's like one of those ironic things.
Yeah.
But why just give him the glove? The whole thing, that didn't make any sense.
I think they're just they're acknowledging that the glove cleaner exists because later on in the episode it's going to be important that he still has a glove cleaner to sell him. So I think that's kind of why they kept throwing it in here in the beginning, even though logically it doesn't make any sense for him to try to sell him a glove cleaner when he doesn't need it yet. But I think they were just writing from the standpoint of the writers, like, oh, well, we need to at least acknowledge that this glove cleaner exists, like a Occam's, not Occam's razor, the Chekhov's gun sort of situation where we need to acknowledge, like, hey, this thing exists too.
Yeah, but I don't know. I still am in the camp of believing that the glove cleaner is more like an ecstasy pill. I watched it twice.
This episode.
That's more like it erases your memory and makes it like he'd forget all about her and not even have this problem in the first place.
Nope. Definitely
Pretty
makes
sure
murder
it is.
people.
I don't know. Listeners, are you on my side, or is Tyler right and it's a suicide
an
thing,
untraceable
essentially?
poison.
I don't think so.
And it wasn't meant to suicide. It was meant to murder other people.
Well, then why did he offer it to him before he even gave it to Leela? That makes no sense.
Again, I just said the writers had needed to explain that it was in the story before bringing other stuff up.
Perhaps. But it's at this point that the professor says that it's very expensive. It's $1,000. And then he's like, I don't have how much for the love potion. That's $1. And frankly, that's even too much. And he's like, will it hurt her? And he's like, trust me, the only one it'll hurt is you. Which is pretty funny.
Which is true. He ends up getting hurt by it. Like, he's not heeding the warnings of, like, it's all a very much the story of the careful what you wish for. Like, he wants Leela's love. He ends up getting it, and it's not what he wanted.
For sure. And he says, thank you, Professor. And he's like, if this works, I'll be the happiest man in the world. They both say it at the same time because obviously the professor's probably heard this a million times from people.
Yep.
The next shot, Roger is arriving at Leela's house, and he's got flowers for her, and she's wants nothing to do with him. She's pretty much telling him to get out of here. He's like, well, how about champagne? And then she calls him a clod, which is a word that you said previous episodes.
I know.
Really enjoy.
I wrote that down again. I was like, this word clod keeps coming up. It's a good, like, I don't know, mean name to give someone,
I guess. And then Roger pulls the old, but I love you. She goes, okay, fine. Come in for one drink. Works every time.
But, like, she's, like, so, like, both Leela and him are very annoying in that, like, he's clearly head over heels in love to the point of, like, being a total simp. And it's like, dude, she doesn't like you. You need to get over it. And she's kind of very
baiting
cold.
him, too.
Yeah. It's the whole situation's a very, like,
Yeah. Very toxic in that one. But Roger pours the champagne. He puts the potion in Leela's drink.
She downs it in one
Yeah,
gulp.
she's like, let's get this over with. Downs it.
Immediately looks
Your
at her
time's
watch. Okay, time to go home.
She's like, goodbye, Roger. Roger's staring at her the whole time pretty creepily because he's obviously waiting for the potion to take effect. And she's like, what are you looking at? And he's like, Roger says, this may be my last look. How about one last kiss? No, please go. And I was just waiting for it to escalate. One more blowjob? Fucking just... I was waiting for something like that. He kept ramping up, seeing how far he could push the boundaries here. And she's like, I don't love you, go. And he's like, okay, fine. Or no, she says, okay, fine. And then kisses him. She caves in instantly. Okay. Roger starts walking away.
And then the potion's starting to kick in at this point. She's like, actually, come here, give me another kiss.
Maybe I was being cruel. Yeah, she's like, maybe I can make it a little bit nicer. They kiss again. And even she's just like, what's happening? And I love his, what's the difference? Come here, baby.
Come here, baby, the potion worked.
And then in the next shot, Leela is just head over heels for Roger now, just at his every command. I'll play a little bit of this because it's
over the top.
Oh, yeah.
Leela, couldn't you please sit in a chair?
Oh, yes, my darling husband. Oh, I'm sorry if it bothers you. It's just that I love to kneel at your feet. Darling, do you want your slippers now?
No, they make my feet hot.
Yeah, she's just being over. Did you notice the music in the background?
Yeah, it's the classic in love music.
Yep.
But yeah, now she's acting the way that he used to act, which is ironic because, like, he was overly clingy and showing a bunch of love, and she didn't like that. And then now she's being overly romantic and clingy, and he doesn't like it. So it's just like, well, dude, this is how you were acting, and like, don't you see how creepy you were being by like being that affectionate?
That is, and obviously we can ascertain that some time has passed. It hasn't said exactly yet.
6
it does.
months.
It says it later, but it doesn't say it now. But I don't know. Do you think you? I mean, I don't know. It'd be hard to be in that situation where someone's all over you. I'm sure it would get old, but 6 months, you'd still not.
Yeah, after 6 months, you might not be that over it, especially if it was something that you were pining after for so long that you really wanted to like you like that.
Right.
And then also knowing that you were the one responsible for her liking you this much, like, you can't be that mad at her. You're the one that gave her a potion that made her fall for you like this, so.
The way the shot was set up when he's looking at the book and then he puts the book down and you see her, I was waiting for it to be a lot dirtier.
She just wipes her mouth.
Yeah. Yeah, but anyway, she's still, again, all over him, getting him, can I get you a cigarette? Can I do this?
Seemed like a cigarette ad, too. Like, oh, I forgot to bring you your cigarettes, your daily cigarettes. Don't forget to smoke Marlboro.
Right. Do you want a back rub? Roger just wants to read, but Leela's just all over him. Am I disturbing you? Am I disturbing you by asking you I'm disturbing you?
Am I disturbing you by asking you if I'm disturbing you by asking if you're disturbing? There's like levels of deepness.
And then she says, I love you, Roger. I love to say I love you. And this is when Roger's just, I've got to go. I have an appointment. Obviously didn't have an appointment. And then Leela says, well, while you're gone, my love will grow. And Roger, in the next shot, Roger is back at the professor's library again. And, of course, the professor says, well, I've been expecting you. And then Roger's kind of playing coy. Oh, that potion sure works. And they're trying to make small talk, but the professor's obviously like, come on, get to it. I know you want it.
I know, yeah, at one point he's like, I just came here to talk about what's going on with China. And it's like, what? What the fuck are you talking about?
It's at this point the professor pulls out the old glove cleaner, and he's like, you sure you don't want it? $1,000. And
untraceable, undetectable. No one can tell that you murdered your wife.
Right. And then Roger says, I can't stand it. She loves me too much. And the professor assures him that the glove cleaner is the only way. And I'll play a little bit of this, because there must be another way. I'll play a little bit. We'll see if my tone shifts hearing it this time.
Yep.
She worships and adores you and hangs on your every word.
Yes, she does.
$1,000.
Professor, I am going out of my ever-loving mind. I can't stand it anymore.
Naturally.
Is there such a thing as being loved too much? Isn't there somewhere we can just quiet it down a little?
No. The glove cleaner is the only way.
Well, I can't do that.
I still think, because...
Why would he ask if it's painless?
He says, but also the professor says to something to the effect of, it's the only one in this world. There's plenty of poisons in the world. And it's so stupid. It's
untraceable poison?
It's so stupid also, because it's like that fucking guy from Jeopardy Room where he goes through all this elaborate stuff and then just blows him up with a bomb. I'm using this metaphor as... similarity here to him is like he makes fucking love potions and he's magic and then he just poisons people. That's fucking stupid. There's no way. That the glove cleaner is definitely more of like a magical thing.
No, it's a poison, and the whole point is that he's trying to make money off of these people. That's why he sells the love potion at $1. Like, oh, you can get this thing that you think you want. Aha, now I got you. Now that you use the love potion, now you have to buy this $1,000
obviously
murder.
I know he obviously wants, that's his whole gimmick, but I don't think it's that sinister.
It is.
We'll have to agree to
Why did he ask
if
if it was painless then? What does he think that he's buying that's going to be painful?
He asked if even when they gave him the love potion, he asked if it was going to hurt her, the love potion.
This is asking more about, like, is it painless? Like, he knows that she's going to die. It will be a painless death.
No, I don't think it's that sinister.
I really think you're misreading this completely.
Maybe.
Also, they're giving it a code name. Like, the love potion doesn't have a code name because you can openly say what you're doing with it. But, like, glove cleaner, like, why would you need to give a code name?
Because you clean your hands of something, which obviously, yes, it could be a term for murder, but I think it's more of to the effect of, like, it just wipes away memory or something like that.
No, you're crazy.
Roger's like, I can't do that. It's all my savings, but he ends up buying it anyway. And the professor says, well, you must use it immediately, and you must use all of it. And then we finally...
Or else you'll regret it.
Yeah. Well, maybe he would have second thoughts because he actually likes having her love him all the time. And then as soon as she takes it, she'd be like, what the heck are you doing here? What the heck? We're married? What the fuck?
Or as soon as she takes it, she's going to be fucking dead.
Maybe. And then we get the line from the professor. He goes, first the stimulant, then the chaser.
Yeah, I love the drop of the name drop of the episode.
Roger goes home. He's got Leela some flowers and champagne, pretty much a mirror shot of the opening scene there, or second scene. He goes and sits next to her. Or he tells Leela to go sit over on the couch. He's like, I'll bring it to you. He pours in the potion to the champagne, and he goes to sit down with Leela, and she's like, come here, Roger, I've got some little news for you. She shows him a little sock. Obviously,
Baby on
she's
the way.
pregnant. He drops the champagne and as well the potion. I don't believe it was poison.
It's a poison.
And Leela's just like, this is only the beginning, Roger. We'll be together forever and ever.
And then Roger says, that's fine. I couldn't have gone through with it anyway. I couldn't have gone through with murdering you.
Maybe. And then Rod brings us out.
Mr. Roger Shackleforth, who has discovered at this late date that love can be as sticky as a vat of molasses, as unpalatable as a hunk of spoiled yeast, and as all-consuming as a 6-alarm fire in a bamboo and canvas tent. Case history of a lover boy who should never have entered the Twilight Zone.
And that is our episode. Tyler, what did you learn?
I learned to sell the problem cheap and the antidote at an exorbitantly high price.
Yeah, great business model. All right, we'll jump right into ratings. IMDb currently has this at a 6.9 out of 10. I will go first because I know you like this, obviously, a lot more than I did.
Yep.
Again, for the 8th week in a row, I'm pretty much in the same fucking thing.
8 weeks, really?
Yes. Look at it. I'm giving this a 6.
All right. I'm going to give this an 8. It was fun. It's a fun, careful what you wish for sort of story. Love the magic elements in the professor, how like magical he is and how magical his cool library room is and with its like magic doors and stuff. A little dark with the whole, murdering your wife potentially, but
if you see it from that point of view.
It definitely was meant to. Listeners, come on, you're on my side, right? It was definitely meant to be a murder.
I am intrigued to see what people have to say about this one.
I know I'm right.
Who are they? Where are they? What are they? Let's find out together in the Twilight Gnome presents Inside the Twilight Zone.
All right, so this week we have George Grizzard. He played Roger. He was in 2 Twilight Zone episodes. He was obviously in this, The Chaser, and he was in the first episode of Season 4, In His Image. Quite a bit better episode. I was going to say a lot better, but it's good. It's definitely, I like it more than this episode. That is for sure. He was in lots of TV shows from the 50s, 60s, and 70s, 80s, and even in the 90s. Then we have Patricia Barry. She played Leela. She was also in 2 episodes of The Twilight Zone, and now we have done both of hers. She was in this and in Season 4's episode, I Dream of Jeannie. She was the girl that the guy who got the wishes wanted to get.
Oh, so everyone wants her.
I guess so. She was in quite a few movies in the 40s and 50s, and then she kind of switched over to TV in the late 50s, 60s, and 70s. She was in 257 episodes of Days of Our Lives.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Mr. Peepers.
I don't think there was even that many episodes of that. And also she was in Twilight Zone, the movie. She played the mom in It's a Good Life segment. And then we have John
McIntyre?
Maybe? He played the professor. He was also the sheriff in the movie Psycho from the 60s. He was in a bunch of movies in the 40s and 50s and a bunch of TV shows in the late 50s, 60s, and 70s, and he played the voice of the Badger in Fox and the Hound, which I watched pretty recently.
I don't remember there being a badger in that movie.
I don't either, and I actually just watched it like a couple months ago. And then finally, we have J. Pat O'Malley. He was the old man at the phone booth there, and he is in 4 Twilight Zone episodes, and we have done all but 1. He was in, obviously, The Chaser. He was in Mr. Garrity and the Graves. He's the drunk, my wife Elsa.
My wife Zelda.
And he was in Salvador Ross, the Self-Improvement of Salvador Ross. I can't remember who he played in that. Probably another barfly or something.
Something like that.
And then he plays Old Ben in The Fugitive, the main character in
yeah.
The Fugitive. This episode is the only episode in Season 1 not to be written by Rod, Charles, or Richard. The professor's name is A. Demon, which obviously, like I said earlier, alluded to in the short story. The main character, Roger, sells his soul to get Leela to love him. And it has a bunch of reused music, quite a bit from the episode The Fever. Franklin. With all that jazzy
Classic.
stuff. I really did enjoy the score of this one a lot.
The score is awesome.
In total, this episode cost $40,228. The director received the usual $12.50, and the cast received $5,504.
What'd you say to me, Mike?
What's in the name, Mr. Benninger, really? It's a mere question of semantics. Just language. A mere stretch of words.
So every week, Tyler and I come up with a few alternative titles for the episode we are watching. I only got like 2 this week. I had a really hard time with this one.
Oh, I have 6, I think.
All right, go for it then. Do like 2.
All right, I got Leela's Love.
Yeah, pretty good.
And Love Potion number 9.
All right. I have Professor Demon Debacle.
My debacle is the Desire Debacle.
All right. Do one more, and then I'll do my best.
I also have Love and Glove.
The O.J. Simpson story. All right, my best one is Problems with a Particular Potion.
Yeah, nice. My last 2 are Unrequited Love, and I think my best, First Comes Love.
All right. What about Switcheroos? I have 4.
I have also 4.
All right. The Escape Clause?
No, 22.
No, I don't. Well, that's a good one because, yeah, it's a thinker. What You Need?
Yep, I got that one. Young Man's Fancy?
Nope. It's a Good Life?
Yep, that was my last one.
The Gift and A Short Drink from a Certain Fountain. You'd have to change it up a little bit.
Short drink from a certain potion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so no direct references exactly to this episode, but in terms of love potions, there is a ton of stories to dig through. That some are super old, some are super young. So starting us off, we got Harry Potter.
Young movie.
Not movies, but like stories
just,
about love potions.
Sorry, I usually don't cut you off on this, but it just having someone refer to, like, I know if someone says like it's an old movie, but I've never heard someone say it's a young movie or a young story.
Oh, like
that caught me off guard.
I mean, that makes sense. If it's an old, if you can have old stories,
old and new, old and young sounds so fucked up.
I don't know. It works. Anyway, one of the younger stories, Harry Potter.
No, it would be newer.
No, I'm just going with younger. It's funny. So you got Harry Potter. So love potions are actually used a couple of times in the stories there. So you first got Merope Gaunt using a love potion on Tom Riddle Sr., and then she ends up stop giving him the love potion so that he falls out of love, which has bad consequences. And then you also have Romilda Vane trying to give Harry a love potion that ends up getting eaten by Ron, so then Ron's in love with her. So a couple of little love potions there in the Harry Potter franchise. And then also Rick and Morty in the Season 1, Episode 6 potion called Rick Potion number 9. In that episode, Morty wants this girl in his grade to fall in love with him, so Rick makes him a potion that makes him desirable to her, but the problem is it also makes everyone fall in love with Morty, and ends up at the very end of the episode, they kind of have to turn the whole world into a Cronenberg fiasco and leave the planet forever.
Such a good show.
It is a good show. And then we also have the 1996 movie The Craft, where Sarah sets a love potion on Chris Hooker that makes it that works too well.
Is that Vicky Valancourt?
That is Vicky Valancourt. No, it's Vicky Valancourt is in the movie, but the girl that does the love spell is in The Mentalist. Do you ever watch that show?
I know of it, but I haven't really seen it.
Oh. But anyway, yeah, she sets a love spell on Chris Hooker, and it ends up going too badly. He's so infatuated with her that he ends up trying to rape her in the movie. It's kind of dark there. And then you have the 1998 movie Practical Magic. Again, there's another love spell. And then both the song and movie Love Potion number 9. In the movie, the 1992 movie, takes its name from the song that came out in 1963. And then other love potions, you got The Little Mermaid in 1989, where Ursula kind of sets Prince Eric up to love her. And then all the way back in 1595, you got Shakespeare with Midsummer Night's Dream and love potions.
All right, lots of love potions.
Yeah.
This Valentine's Day.
Love is in the air, even if it's not mutual.
All right. I am kind of not regretting. I am
You're regretting something that hasn't even happened yet.
What am I?
You're dreading?
Dreading, yes. That is the word I am looking for over here.
It's so hard because if we look at the board, yours are mostly 6s and mine range from a 3 to an 8. So it's hard to guess.
The last 7 weeks, I have ranged between a 5 and a 6.5. And it's already the winter blue months, and I am definitely kind of feeling down and feeling in a slump. So hopefully something, I know 50 is going to be a big one, but I hopefully we got a good one here.
I mean, it all depends. I can't say if you're going to like this episode or not. I hope you like this episode more than I did. Are you ready? Oh, wait. First guess.
I know it's not going to be season 4, season 1, or I don't know. My guess is something good. Come on, baby.
All right, rip the Band-Aid off?
Yeah. A game of pool.
You actually like it?
I like this episode. All right.
Good.
Awesome. All right. That's our first Klugman.
It is our first Klugman, yeah.
Awesome. All right.
So now we've done a Klugman, a Burge, and an Anderson.
We have. All right. I am very happy about that. A game of pool. It's going to be a refreshing little taste here.
Yeah. Some billiards.
You've watched it?
Yeah. It was okay.
Come on. It was good.
If you like this better than you like The Chaser, you're insane.
Definitely. I definitely like a game of pool better than The Chaser. All right. Next week, a game of pool. Tyler and I are probably going to be divided on this one again. But I don't know. I can't imagine I'm going to give it like super high, but it's definitely better than this episode.
All right. Good. I'm glad you're happy.
All right, just a little bit of housekeeping, guys. If you could please continue to like and subscribe on the YouTube page. We're kind of staying right there at 75, probably because of the last 7 weeks, but...
No.
We also have in the works, obviously, 50. Every 25, we do a major episode. And with that, we do a special little episode as well. Next week we'll tell you.
I was going to say, it's only 2 weeks away.
All right, fine. You guys ready for this one? I won't tease you any longer. We've talked about it before. It should come as no surprise. Our special episode that's going to drop with episode 50 is going to be an episode completely on the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror ride.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome.
It's going to go all about the different cameos that the ride makes to the show, talking about the ride's history and just the overall experience. So
definitely going to be one you don't want to miss.
Yeah, excited to have you guys hear it.
So if you guys could please continue to like and subscribe on YouTube page, that'd be awesome. If you could go over to the Facebook page, give that a like and a follow, that would be great. I haven't posted a picture of the board, but I should probably just save it for 50.
Yeah, at this point, yeah.
We'll post that picture. I should probably post a picture of my shrine here. I have a lot of Twilight Zone memorabilia. I don't think I've posted that yet. I got a lot of little action figures and signs and Rod Funko Pop and books. It's a cool sign that says Twilight Zone this way. And if you're listening on Spotify, if you guys could leave a review, preferably 5 stars, that would be awesome.
We're a 5-star show.
And I think that's it. If you need to get a hold of us for any other reason, you can email us at twilightgnome59@gmail.com. Guessing it's still empty.
Still empty.
All right. Well, until then, I will leave you with this final question. It's kind of a twofer. What's your favorite Valentine memory? That's my first one. Like, you don't have, like, good Valentine's memories, like, of parties at school and stuff?
I mean, I guess I liked making, like, the little mailbox things. It was basically just, like, a small cardboard box. And you get to, like, decorate it and stuff. And everyone would, like, you had to make one for everyone in the class because you can't have the lonely kid feel left out. So You just have all those like fun little cards. Like
I feel like we just missed that. We must be in the age group that like it just was like, all right, everyone get them, because seeing like episodes like The Simpsons, like that would feel really shitty if you had to teach like, fuck, that poor kid didn't get it.
Yeah,
I get it, but
I guess the thing I liked the most were the little cards you'd buy at like Walmart or whatever, where the ones I remember, it was like a Nickelodeon pack. So like one had like Cat Dog, and one had
Real
like Hey
Monsters
Arnold,
and shit.
yeah, and then they each say something relevant to their show or something.
My children just had a Valentine's party too, and they had them, and it just brought back memories of me getting those and giving them out to my friends at school and stuff. Obviously, like you'd give your best friends like the coolest.
Yeah, you
ones.
give your best friends the better ones, and be like, oh, this person I don't like. You get the shitty one.
Yeah, you get the fucking. I can't think of what a shitty Nickelodeon one would be. What would be the shitty Nickelodeon one? They were all fucking winners.
Yeah, but maybe give them like an annoying character, like give them Chucky from Rugrats or something. Be like, you're like
Eugene
him.
from Hey
Yeah,
Arnold.
exactly.
Yep. And my second question: what is your favorite like rom-com?
Ooh, my favorite rom-com. Ooh. I'd either say this might count as more of like an action comedy, but Night and Day, great movie, love that one. If you're talking more like pure romantic movie with not a whole lot of comedy, I'm probably gonna go with either Pretty Woman or Dirty Dancing.
Fucking Dirty Dancing. I'm gonna have to go 50 First Dates.
That's a good one. Yep.
That's a really good one. All right, Ty. Until then, do you have anything to say to our dear, dear listeners, keeping in mind that it is Valentine's Day? Send them out with some love.
Yeah, so may love be in the air for all of you listeners out there, and we're sending you love here from the Twilight Gnome.
It's 4 o'clock, the howling man is gone. Frisbee's telling stories, Mr. Dingle strong. There's time enough for the real Martian to stand up. Next stop, will it be little girl is lost? There's something on the wing, Walter Jameson won't live long. Feel like I'm 5 characters in search of exit. Help, I'm slipping into the twilight known. Luckily on Thursday we leave for home. The chemists came and gave beauty to behold. Where's everybody? Get Axel Tyler on the phone. Now you're listening to the Twilight Known. Till next Friday night, you won't be alone. Till then, just keep watching your favorite TV show. Take it, Mr. Serling. The Twilight Zone. Listen hard and long. The Twilight Known. Listen hard and long. The Twilight Known.
Yeah, and I can't. You said something, and I was gonna say something, and I can't remember. Fuck. What did you say?
When was it? When were you thinking?
I'm gonna
Said
go-
Night and Day.
Oh yes, Night and Day. That I was watching the clip of when the reporter squirted Tom Cruise. He just fucking.
Why would you do that?
I can't tell if I'm on his side or not. Obviously, that like it was just a joke and it was funny, but he didn't go over the top.
Go over the top. No, I'm kind of on his side. I'd be kind of pissed. But
Tom Cruise
like,
is also very unlikable.
He is. But his movies are great. Like the Mission Impossible movies are super fun to
No,
watch.
they're not.
Yes, they are.
I can't. The only Tom Cruise movie I like is Eyes Wide Shut. I love Eyes
Did you ever
Wide
see
Shut.
Night and Day though?
That's the one where
Him and Cameron Diaz.
and she keeps like waking up and he's in different shit.
You keep saying it as if she's waking up like he drugged her to knock her out.
like date rape her.
No, he didn't rape her. She just gets knocked out because it's for her own good to like not.
It's for her own good. There you go.
to not like
canceled,
be in
canceled.
Not be in the line of fire. And he's trying to like save her from all these crazy situations.
That'll be our end credit thing there.